Hello everyone, and here we have a new story. Before we get to that, I want to ask you to subscribe, like, and be sure to write comments in order to participate in the development of the community, write how to improve my community, current topics in the stories you are interested in, and much more. I read and listened to all the comments. People write me stories by mail from different countries. There are problems with translation. I apologize for this. I will work on it and try to fix these errors. I want to thank everyone for their support and the people who wrote to me by mail. Broadcast news stories. New videos on my channel are published once every 2 days at 7 p.m. Don't forget to put a bell in order not to miss new videos. And now let's go. Hello, today I want to share my story with you. Yesterday I was lying down and couldn't sleep for a long time. I remember my past years, so I remembered the story of my own brother. I want to share this story with the community. Let's get started. One day, nothing foreshadowed trouble. Jack, that's my brother's name, picked up the kids from kindergarten and drove home carefree. At the next long traffic light, Jack decided to call his wife. Jack's wife didn't pick up the phone. Jack was sitting behind the wheel, listening to his favorite family soundtrack and singing along to the children. At the next intersection, Jack saw his wife. Jack's wife was walking hand in hand with a man. She was wearing a beautiful dress. 1,000 bad thoughts raced through Jack's mind. Jack already wanted to take a monkey wrench and deal with his wife's lover. But then he thought there were kids in the car. They can get psychological trauma. Therefore, Jack did not want to make a scandal in front of his children. The wife was on her way to her mother's house. Jack remembered that his wife's mother went on vacation on a cruise liner. Therefore, the couple in love was heading there. Jack instantly remembered how his mother-in-law had gone on vacation. Jack and his wife spent romantic nights at their mother-in-law's house and had passionate sex. Jack had the keys to his mother-in-law's house in the car. Jack sometimes, at the request of his mother-in-law, watered the flowers while she was not at home. Jack gritted his teeth and calmly went to his parents to leave his children there. Jack's mom was happy about the unexpected visit of her grandchildren. Jack's mom didn't even notice that something was wrong with her son. As soon as Jack left the children, he immediately went to his mother-in-law's house. At that time, there were terrible traffic jams on the roads. Jack parked the car away from his mother-in-law's house. Jack walked around the house, hoping to see through the window what was going on inside. Jack noticed a man who felt at home and was smoking. Jack was filled with rage. Jack took out his cell phone and started calling his wife. Jack's wife's mobile phone was unavailable. What's going on anyway? He thought about it. Jack clutched the phone in his hand and headed for the back entrance of the house. Jack, trying not to make any noise, slowly opened the front door and entered the house. He saw his naked wife coming out of the bedroom. Through his teeth, he told his wife that you are an animal. His wife saw Jack. His eyes were bloodshot like a monster. Jack's wife quickly realized everything, ran into the bedroom and locked herself in there from the inside. Jack's look really scared her. Jack's wife was so shocked that she was speechless. Okay, I'll deal with her later, Jack thought, and went to the kitchen. Entering the kitchen, he saw a man who was sitting and continued to smoke carelessly. A minute later, he grabbed a chair and brought it down on the head of his wife's lover. The wife's lover fell to the floor unconscious. Jack sat down on the chair next to him, took out a cigarette and lit it. He sat and smoked. He immediately felt calm. I have to figure out the situation, Jack thought. Jack's calmness disappeared the moment he heard that his wife was trying to call someone. Jack quickly ran up to his wife and snatched the phone out of her hands. After that, he pushed her into the bedroom and closed it. Jack called me that day. He was very excited. Jack asked me to come very urgently. Where to go? I asked. Jack said, Do you remember where my mother-in-law lives? Okay, I'll be there soon, I said. Jack's voice sounded very sad to me, as if somehow he accidentally dropped a sandwich on the remote control for launching nuclear missiles. Did he tell me about Henry's story? Maybe you heard her? When the man asked his friend to hide the corpse, it turned out that it was a test. It was the corpse of an animal. But in our case, I understood that it would not be an animal. I was very worried and tried to get to the place where he was faster. I got confused, called our mutual friend Dave and asked him to come with me. I was driving in the car and was shocked, not understanding what I was doing. It's not every night that your brother calls you and hints in a sad voice that you need to hide a corpse. There were terrible traffic jams on the roads. When we got to his mother-in-law's house, the police took Jack out of the house in handcuffs. I ran up to the policeman to find out what was the matter. My brother Jack was sitting in the police car, looking at me and smiling. In his drunken eyes, I saw a darkness of doom. We went to the police station to get a police car. Jack's mobile phone was unavailable. Later, I found out that Jack had smashed it against the wall. My brother's wife didn't pick up the phone. The situation just didn't fit in my head. We drove up to the police station. The police took Jack for a forensic examination. I approached the policeman again and tried to find out from him the details of what was happening. That's what the policeman told me. Jack smashed a chair over the man's head. After that, he sat down and started drinking a lot of whiskey. Jack's wife took advantage of the moment and called the police. The front door to the house was unlocked. The police believed that a murder had occurred. It turned out that the man survived. He was just unconscious. The man came to his senses and reported that he had been beaten. I immediately called my lawyer friend. The lawyer said not to raise a panic, that Jack was in no danger today. I was only allowed to talk to my brother for a minute. I told him not to say anything without a lawyer. An hour later, a lawyer arrived and convinced the police to release my brother on bail. Jack came out and asked me to tell his wife that he was in jail. When Jack's wife called me, I told her Jack was in jail. She listened to me and hung up. We parked the car, bought a lot of alcohol, and went to discuss the situation. I didn't want to leave my brother alone with his thoughts. We sat and drank until morning. The conversations were very difficult. Jack fell asleep right at the table. I fell asleep on the couch. We woke up closer to lunch, silently drank coffee, and ate dried slices of pizza. Our silence was interrupted by an incomprehensible creak of the door. We weren't expecting guests. We looked at each other and tried not to make noise. Jack went to the front door and heard someone trying to pick the lock. He abruptly opened the door, and a guy with a tire iron in his hands appeared before his eyes. The guy froze. The tire iron fell out of his hands. Next to this guy was Jack's wife with round glasses. We stood in silence, looking at each other. Our silence was interrupted by this guy. He turned around and started running away. As it turned out, this guy is an acquaintance of Jack's wife. She asked him to help crack the door lock. She thought her husband was in jail, and she didn't have the keys. I started laughing a lot. The surprised look of Jack's wife made me laugh even more. I'll never forget the look on her face. Jack calmly looked at his wife, told her to go to the store and buy whiskey, and closed the door. Jack's wife brought a large bag full of food and bottles of whiskey. We drank for a long time so as not to leave the couple alone, so that Jack doesn't end up in the police again. As a result, Jack filed for divorce. Jack currently lives with his parents. Jack pays alimony. The kids live with Jack's ex-wife's mom. Jack's wife was psychologically traumatized and started drinking a lot. Jack's wife sometimes comes to visit the children, most often in the state of intoxication. She lives it is unclear where and with whom. Jack is gradually moving away from what is happening and wants to start a new life. I'm talking to him. He has a new girlfriend. I hope he builds a new family. That's the whole story, friends. What do you say about this? Now let's turn to the advice of the author of the channel. Channel author's advice. In the midst of life's storms, you have shown incredible strength and restraint. Your ability to put the well-being of your children above everything else is a testament to your character as a father and personality. As you move forward on your journey, keep these few tips in mind. Take time for yourself to heal and restore your emotional balance. Taking care of yourself is not selfishness. It is necessary for your well-being. Reach out to your friends and family for support. You don't have to go through this alone, and those who care about you will be there to help you recover. While it's important to acknowledge the past, don't dwell on it. Look ahead and set goals for yourself in your new life. Forgiveness can be a powerful healing tool, but it doesn't mean forgetting. Learn from the past to ensure a bright future for yourself. As you mentioned, you have a new girlfriend. Maintain this relationship and allow yourself to find happiness again. Your future is filled with the potential for new love and joy. Your children need you now more than ever. Continue to be the loving and responsible father you've always been. Keep a positive outlook on life. Optimism can be a driving force on your way to a new start. Remember, Jack, life has a wonderful way of offering second chances. Keep your head high, focus on what lies ahead, and know that brighter days are looming on the horizon. If you have watched to the end, I want to say thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey of love, betrayal, and redemption. I appreciate your support and encourage you to subscribe, like, and share this story. Your participation and feedback are invaluable for shaping our content and promoting mutual understanding and community growth. Until we meet again.